Yeah, dear our viewers, tonight we have our guest and back on our program. The viewers who are there. This is our program. I'm your Gabby John Socrates at Allied Media. Tonight we are going to look at what is happening in Entebbe, but we are going to focus on the area of advocacy, empowerment, human rights, and also where we are looking at the land rights. And also we are going to look at the gender-based advocacy in Entebbe, as well as the role of some of the institutions. Tonight we have been able to host our community development officer, Mr. Kimuli Paul, who happens to come from Division B, Entebbe Municipality. Mr. Kimuli, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mkawi.
Yeah, those who are there, Mr. Kimuli is the coordinator, is the community development officer of Division B, but also he's supervising one of the most interesting projects which was started by a certain organization. And we are going to look deeper and dissect that project, which has done wonders, which has been able to empower, which has been able to position women as people who also deserve dignity in Entebbe. And this project has brought in also other kind of initiatives like the paralegals, who we are going to be able to know who are the paralegals, and also we are going to be able to know this project. Yes, Mr. Kimuli, you are welcome. Mr. Kimuli, first of all, we know that there is a project which is going on in Entebbe which involves advocacy in Entebbe, and it's in its entirety the Women's Space Project. Viewers who are there would like to know what is it and where does it stop, where does it operate from, the area of jurisdiction. So the viewers there would like to know what is the Women's Space Project.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Mugabe. Yes, it is true. 3 years way back,
yes,
Entebbe Municipal Council went into partnership, or went into an understanding with the Shelter and Settlement Alternatives. This is a non-government organization funded by the Rooftops, Canada.
Yeah.
And they are implementing a project, a 5-year project in Entebbe Municipality, codenamed Women Spaces.
Yes.
Women Spaces project looks at 3 thematic areas.
Yeah.
It looks at land, housing, and livelihoods. Though it is emphasizing the participation of women, but to a smaller extent, as usually gender integrates. The men are also integrated, children, and all people that are affected. But we believe in land acquisition, in most cases, women are vulnerable in terms of access and control. Yes, they may own land as a family, but you find that their rights towards that land is restricted. So the Women's Spaces Project is here to break bonds, to remove or adjust the restrictions that are suffered by women through accessing land, so that they may acquire more rights as prescribed by the legal instruments on land, housing, and livelihoods. And this project, what it has done to keep at the grassroots level, it has trained paralegals. And we refer to these people as community advocates. So these community advocates intervene into several areas that concern women, acquisition of lands, and like having access to housing and livelihood. You would find that many widows or women that have lost their husbands, in most cases they are suppressed and they become desperate, they ignored the rights to use the land that's left behind by the husbands. So our intervention involves advocacy, but referring to existing instruments, the Land Act, the Constitution of this country, and other instruments that are relevant to fight for the rights of women and children.
Okay, that's wonderful. Mr. Kimuli, we know that in Entebbe, we've been getting cases, for example, where widows have been finding a challenge to inherit or to be part of the property, to also get their shares, because the relatives and other maybe neighbors sometimes connive with the leaders and get this opportunity away from the person who would be able to get it and enjoy it, have this dignity. So you as a paralegal, what are you doing to ensure that these widows and other women are able to fully get what they are entitled to?
Yeah, true. A lot of property is being grabbed by the immediate relatives of the deceased persons. But our intervention focuses much more on creating awareness.
Okay, it's awareness
yes,
based.
Because we are doing a lot of awareness.
Oh, I see.
So many people there, the vulnerable women, the children, and others, they suffer because of lack of information.
Okay.
So we are trying to bridge the gap through creating awareness.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Assuming that a lady approaches one of your paralegal and say, my land has been already taken, and it has been taken by the immediate relative or anyone, what do you do in that case?
What we do, we profile the case.
Okay, I see.
Though it is a gone case, we do the profiling of that case. Then we identify, because we have 16 paralegals trained.
I see.
We identify the paralegals that would follow up that case. And if a case is beyond our intervention, we have gone to an extra mile or to an extent where we can integrate legal personnel. And I want to tell the public that even some properties that had been lost through grabbing and fraudulent mechanisms has been recovered, and some some orphans and widows have recovered their property through our interventions.
Okay. Yes. It seems there is where you refer to the legal body or a lawyer or a certain kind of organization which can provide the legal service.
Currently, what I can tell the public or the listeners, that we are into partnership with the legal teams and other organizations that have legal professionals like the Redeemed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, Mr. Chimuli, we are also looking at this women's space. We have a challenge that most of the women, not most of them, but we have cases which are piling up where women have not been able to fully get properties because at the death of their husband, there was no legal bonding in terms of marriage. And you find some of them have been in marriage for over 20 years, but they don't have this entitlement. What are you doing to ensure that there is a legal ground for a woman to claim her percentage?
What we do, that is a true situation that prevails. So many people are cohabiting.
Okay.
And as they cohabit, they presume that they're into a legal arrangement. Yet cohabiting does not equate to a legal institution.
Okay.
When we talk about marriage, there are procedures that can culminate into legal marriage. But you find in certain situations, people have become widows, or the women have been left by the husbands, yet they do not have a legal or a binding relationship. And as we practice our actions and our involvement, we consider humanity. We practice that humanity kind of approach. Yes, someone may not be legally married, but you find that he has been present when the family is accumulating the property or the wealth.
I see.
So we can't just chase away such an individual. So we make an advocacy as we involve into dialogue to exercise fairness and equity as a principle.
That's very good. Our listeners were there. this is Mr. Kimuli. It's a great opportunity for us to know, because we have seen misery in community. We've seen this outcry. We've seen people becoming landless, dispossessed, because of lacking information, lacking this institution to safeguard their property, and also registering what they have. And tonight, with Mr. Kimuli, who happens to be the coordinator of this Women's Space project, we are looking at